Hello, this is Wyland with Drone Rental Supply, and today we're going to talk about the Tradecraft case for the Inspire 1. It's able to house all of the equipment that we need when we're out on a shoot. So let's go ahead and get into what the case looks like. So this is the Tradecraft Inspire 1 case. As you can see, it's an I-Series SKB case, which is made in the United States. So if you're the person that likes to buy stuff only made in the United States, this is definitely the one for you. As you can see, it's a military spec case. It's made of a hard polymer, and it does an excellent job of competing with Pelican cases. So let's go ahead and move it to this side. As you can see, just like the Pelican cases, there are multiple places where you can put locks in, and it's reinforced with a metal sleeve of some sort. The latches are actually an improvement over the Pelican cases, in my opinion, because they can be silent. You can open them silently, and you can close it silently. Or you can just be loud about it. And the reason why this works is because this latch is on a spring-loaded system. So if you just hold it, you can close it and be silent about it. So this is an excellent latching system. Really like it. The handle, I haven't had any issues with it so far. It's been really strong. It does lock into the down position, so it doesn't fling around, or just doesn't isn't very flimsy. So definitely very good. The wheels have been also very good. We've gone through grass, mud, rain, and just about everything, and they've held up really well. Haven't really had any issues rolling through any type of terrain. So far, been really good workhorse on the outside. So I'm gonna move around to this side, and I'm gonna talk about the travel handle right here. So in order to raise the travel handle, you're gonna have to move this latch to the right side. It comes up. It's been really sturdy. It does wiggle a little bit, but it's not anything to worry about. And it's worked really well. In order to bring it back down, you have to engage the lock again, and it locks back down. So been a really solid handle for us. Haven't had any issues at all with it. So the next part, we'll go ahead and look into the inside of the case. So let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. So when you open it up, starting from the top, you'll notice that we have this egg carton type foam. It does the job really well of holding the Inspire in. Moving into the bottom of the case, what you'll see is you have these two foam, holders. And the reason why they're here is that they actually help hold your controllers in place. So when you actually look at Tradecraft's website, they don't actually show these, and you can tell that we've modified it a little bit. We actually added some Gorilla Tape and then some Velcro. And the reason why we did this is that when you bring these out so that you can get to the inside contents, these usually just float around and they can easily be blown around or lost. So we did this so that we can just go ahead, put them on the top of the case with a Velcro, and then they won't go anywhere. So that's the reason why we added the Gorilla Tape and the Velcro there. So once those things are out of the way, you can go ahead and get into the contents of the case. So as you can see, it's empty right now. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fill it up and show you how we use this case. But before we do that, just wanted to show you this side. You can take this out. This is where you can actually put 4 Inspire batteries, but underneath this is actually a cavity where you can put stuff. And generally speaking, we put things that are out of the way, like chargers and spare parts down there. So let's go ahead and start putting stuff into the case. So first thing we're going to go ahead and put in is the case that actually houses the camera for the Inspire, and also the lenses, the attachment for the lens. We don't actually ever use this. We actually put everything in a different place, and the camera stays on the Inspire. So we just put it in here so we don't lose it. So this slots in right there. It can only go in one way, so once you figure out how it goes in, you'll put it in there and you probably never take it out again. The next thing we're going to put in is we're going to go ahead and put in the charger. So that's what we're going to put into the cavity. Drop it in there. It's a pretty large cavity, so you can fit quite a bit in there. And let's see. So here's the charger for the iPad. We put that in there. Use it every once in a while, and then additional tools that we might have. And then we slot that in there. So that's out of the way. The next thing we will put in is the Inspire itself. So this is one of the major reasons why we chose this case, is because we get to put the Inspire in travel mode and we get to keep the lens on. So the whole unit will fit into this case and we don't have to put it into travel mode, which just saves us a lot of time and hassle of having to remove the camera or having to put it in travel mode. Now, before I put it in there, you'll notice one thing. We actually added some memory foam where the camera would go. And this is to allow us to safely keep the camera on the Inspire on, and then it'll actually sit on top of the memory foam, so it won't be shaking all the time while we're traveling. This is just a small minor enhancement that we've made in this case. Yeah, so if you can zoom in right there, you can actually see the camera will be sitting on top of that foam, and when it sits on top of that foam, there's a nice place for it to rest, and the foam will kind of just form itself around the camera. So this is just a small enhancement that we made to it for our own purposes. It works out really well for us. The next thing we'll put in are the controllers. So they slide in right there. There we go. So there is a sleeve right here for the propellers. So if you have extra propellers and you want to keep them with the Inspire, you can actually slot them into here. Now I've seen people be able to fit all 8 in there, but personally the ones that we actually use, I just put them right next to the landing legs. And I just leave them in like that. The next thing we're going to put in are the batteries. Now these 2 slots right here are actually for the batteries. You can actually fit them in, oops, wrong way, like so. Like so, but we actually use these 2 slots for other things. We only use these slots for the battery, and we'll show you why in a second. So here, into these battery slots, we actually put accessories. We actually want our accessories to be easily accessible, so that's why we use them. This smaller one actually contains the USB cable for our iPad mini, and there are the lens cases. And since these can move around really easily, we usually have something that we put in to keep them stuffed away. I'll show you that in a second. And then finally, the iPad mini case. So give me a second. I'll go get that little foam piece that we use. This usually stays with us in the case, but we have a foam piece that we just put right here to prevent these small moving parts from moving around, and we just leave that in there. And finally, once everything's back in, you can take these 2 off, and then we'll put them in. So as you can see, when we put this in, this piece is going to rest on top of the controller, so it prevents the controller from moving anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the things that we don't like about the case. The first one pertains to how easy it is for us to actually just take the entire foam thing out. So when we're actually unloading the Inspire sometimes, or some of the accessories, and instead of one of the pieces wanting to come out, the whole entire foam piece tries to come out. And I'm still debating on whether or not to glue it in permanently. So it's just something that I'm kind of always going back and forth on. But it is actually a gripe that kind of annoys me every single time I use this case. But other than that, the inside of the case I have no issues with. If you have 2 tablets that you have to bring with you, which we sometimes do, this slot is actually not large enough to carry 2 tablets. It would have been nice if they had opened up this slot so that it can actually carry 2 tablets easily. We can fit 2 of them in there, it's just that it gets a little bulgy when we try to do that. So a minor gripe compared to the one where it actually comes in and out. But that's the only 2 that I really can think of when we're using this case. As far as the actual case construction, one of the gripes that I have about the case construction is where they put the rollers in the luggage handle. As you can see, the case opens up this way, but the luggage handle is over here. It would have been really nice had this handle been over here, so that when you're working with the case, so you open it up, you know, and you close it and you're ready to go, you would expect the luggage handle to be right here so that you can move, but it's not. You actually have to close it all up, spin it, and then you have the luggage handle. It's one of those things where it just feels really awkward, and every single time I close up the case and I'm ready to move, I have to think about where the handle is and which way I have to tilt the case. But other than that, it's been a really good case, and these are really kind of small, minor gripes, but it's something to be aware of when you want to purchase a case like this. So the last thing that we're going to talk about before we wrap up this case review is that of all of the hard cases that we've looked through, this is actually one of the most affordable. If you go to Tradecraftcases.com, they're selling these cases right now for $360 plus shipping and handling, which is one of the more affordable hard cases that we've seen out there. Some of the other ones, most of the other ones are probably over $400. So that's actually a big thing in its favor. If you have any questions about the case, or if you have any comments that you want to, please leave in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you for watching the video and have a good day.